Okay, so once you have it installed, just simply double click it. It should load up pretty quick. I think your window layout will be a bit different to mine, so just full screen this. Just move these windows around just to more or less assemble them to how I've got them at the moment. How I've got them will basically make up the best use of space for all the different windows. So you'll notice that the render window, that's blank, this is blank, this is all blank. This is because we haven't loaded anything now to load things, and the reason why we'll load things is so we can select what files we want. So pretty much always you're going to want to have to load the FalloutNewVegas.esm file. This is the main master file, obviously, so if you've installed mods before you'll know what it is. So double click it to enable it and just hit OK. And now, as you can see down there at the bottom, it's just going to start loading all the references, all the assets associated with the ESM Fallout New Vegas. So it'll take between 15 seconds to 2 minutes, somewhere around there. I've got a pretty fast machine, so for me, I'm probably on the 15-second mark. Don't worry too much about what just appeared then. I think your window, object window, will look like this. So to explain what the object window is, this is where you can find all the assets. So let's just say actor data, we've got the body parts, challenges, classes, factions, quests, all, and the perks and all that sort of stuff. The actors, NPCs and creatures, got audio, which is self-explanatory, game effects, so you know, drug effects or item effects, stuff like that. We've got the items themselves, so ammo, armor, books, anything like that, any sort of things that you can pick up and put into your Pip-Boy. Miscellaneous, just animations, sort of like the sky, loading screens, icons, nothing really too important. And we have special effects like explosions and you know, special effects really. World objects, this is sort of like static objects like walls, floors, doors, grasses, lights, all that sort of stuff. Now do not click on all unless if you are willing to wait about 30 seconds. When as soon as you click on all, it loads all of the references that you have in the files that you've selected. Now in the base game I think it's 7,000, so that's why I'm saying 20 seconds, but if you had all the DLC enabled as well, you're probably looking more towards a minute on my sort of machine. So let's just take a look at one of the examples. So inside any of these sort of master parents, say for instance we click on the NPC, it's going to load all the NPCs in the game, so we have a good number of them. Obviously every last one. So let's just say we double click on one of these, Westside Dermot, and we get this little window. So we have the IDs, names, scripts, all that sort of stuff. We won't go into this in this episode, but by double clicking on anything that appears here, you'll get a window come up, and you can edit the variables. You know, you can create new characters as well. So say for instance in here, I'm going to right click and go to new. And then we're going to get the exact same window, but everything's going to be blank, so we can fill in all our stuff here. But again, I'm not going to go into that at the moment. Same story with items. If you want to go to ammo and then create a new type of ammo, go to new. Again, it'll come up with a blank ammo window. And the ammo window is different to the NPC window. The NPC window will be different to, say, for instance, the books or notes or anything. So without getting too into the objects window, you've also got filter up here. So if I type in CAS and then click on all, it'll come up with all the times the word CAS has appeared in the name. So CAS shotgun, CAS companion. Again, don't worry too much about what they mean, but that's a very neat little tool. As you can see there, I think I have just left it on the all, so just give that a second. I'll now explain what the render window's for. So this is basically, it gives us like an overview of the level, and more so than just the level. What I mean by that is we can see all the triggers, we can see all the collisions, we can see additional data that won't be visible in the game. So we can't see anything at the moment. That's because we don't have anything loaded, which is why we have the cell view. Now there are three parts to the cell view: the world space, what's inside that world space. So in this case we've got interior selected. So here we have every single interior in the base game, so there's a lot there. And let's just say we click on the steel mill, New Vegas steel. We can now see on this right, all this stuff has appeared. So what this means is these are basically all of the things that are visible in that level. So simply by double clicking on any of these, we'll begin to load that level, and take us to that reference that we have selected. So in this case, I think it's one of these walls. So there's the entire steel mill interior. So let's have a think now. What else can I tell you about? So underneath the world space sort of tab, here we've got interiors, the wasteland NV is the exterior, and all of these here that aren't what I just talked about are places that are sort of exterior, but they're not part of the New Vegas wasteland. Say for instance, Boulder City, you can see the sky, but it's not part of the wasteland. It's its own cell, if you like. No, it's more specifically its own world space. Inside that, you've got its own cells. But don't worry, a lot of the complicated things that you might not have picked up on then we'll be going into in more depth. So don't worry yourself too much about all the other places. For now, we'll just be focusing on the interiors and the wasteland itself. So we have the steel mill loaded up here. The basic movement controls, hold the middle mouse button down and move left, right, up and down, and that pans the camera. Holding shift and moving the mouse rotates the camera. And then simply scrolling up or down zooms us in and out. So there's the 3 primary movements. Now that I've shown you what each of these windows do and how to navigate them, that's pretty much it for this tutorial. So I'm going to wrap it up here for part 1. In part 2, I'll be showing you how to add things to the render windows, and we're going to create a new sort of object, something very basic, maybe just a book. I'll show you how to drag that in and how to manipulate it. So I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope it was clear. If not, leave a comment, and then obviously I can make a couple changes if necessary. Yeah, and that's it for part 1. So thank you for stopping, and goodbye.